The beautiful weather feels like an insult. Inside of you, a storm rages. It's Colonel Sanders. He's probably here to tell you that he and Ashley are in love and have decided to get married. And he won't even ask you to cater his wedding because you're a terrible chef and an awful person. You try to hide from him, but he approaches you directly. I know you're hurting right now. Not just from the devastating loss, but from that run-in from the mixer and that small fire. We should get that checked out. I'm fine. Can't you just leave me alone? I'm a loser. I'm not fit to fill you fryer. I'll never be a master chef. Failure is a part of life. Not just for you, but for all of us. Do you think I've never failed at anything before? That's exactly what I think. Well, then think again. I wasn't always the man you see before you. Enrolled in a culinary school, incredibly handsome, successful, motivated. Well, handsome, sure. I was born that way. But I've walked other paths and arrived at dead ends. I was passionate about life, but I failed as an obstetrician. I was passionate about justice, but I failed as a lawyer. I was passionate about livestock, but I even failed as a mule handler. That one was especially humiliating. Mules can be so cruel. I lost my business partner to a gunfight. I didn't know. People see my delicate ribbon tie and my well-kept beard and assume that I've got it all together. Which is true now, but it hasn't always been. Sounds like this guy could really use a hug. Damn, I didn't know that history of Colonel Sanders. I resolved then that I was going to amount to something. No amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from giving the best I had to give. As Colonel Sanders changes focus, you can see something ignite inside of him, a burning passion. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My new dream is pure, it's honest, it's something that a humble man in a crisp white suit can be proud of. I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the entire world and make up for my past misdeeds. Yay! Just as your moment goes intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening, shadowy presence. Battle scarred from the night before, you prepare for the worst. It's the sport monster! Borko? It is I! I know I said I wouldn't be back, and after the whole fight to the death thing, maybe you don't really want to see me anymore. But I just wanted to say that I was wrong to attack you, and I apologize. I know what it's like, always having to look over your shoulder. Monster problems, am I right? Aw, thanks, Borko. I'm glad there are no hard feelings. Getting jumped by a giant creature in the dark of night can really rile a person up. I also want to apologize for the way I switched right into attack mode. I know that you're strong, and cooking school can put a person under a lot of stress. I actually used to go to this school. I wasn't always a spork monster, you see. I don't believe it. You were human once? Well, no. I was a golden retriever. I was still a student. Until one day, some mean kids with a magic spell book cast dark enchantment on me. I can't do the voice anymore. Cast a dark enchantment on me, and I was forever transformed. A magic spell book? Precisely. I had procured a copy for myself, but somewhere along the way I've lost it. If you find such a book, I beg of you, respect it. You're a powerful chef, and shouldn't rely on such evil and dark magic. No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who would cheat them through sorcery and guile. If you need me, don't fear. I will be there. It sound it sounds like there are some bad cooks in the kitchen of life. Margarita, together, I am sure we can defeat them. I think I botched that one. Come back to my hideaway and we can discuss. A personal invite! You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. Looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders! Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. It's meant to pair with something spicy or something crispy? Both, perhaps? Now you've got him right where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation to him, or keep it a secret just for you? I'm going to reveal it. You decide that you're as ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. My original coleslaw, everybody! If only I could make something that looks as good as this in real life. The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' luxe hideaway. Ah, magnificent. Magnificent. Together, you chow down on the creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Please make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Is that Colonel Sanders on the wall as a baby, holding a drumstick with a fully formed goatee? That's amazing. This is it. Oh my god. He's got a chicken statue. That's not even like an actual chicken, that's a statue. Around the room are various items you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. What? Okay. This must be where he keeps the secret recipe. You think for a moment. What number is important to Colonel Sanders? Oh, that's a safe! Then it dawns on you. As soon as you turn the dial to 111111, the safe opens. Inside it you find a single note. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? No, aw, Jesus. Sashimi chicken? I'd try it. I didn't realize that was a safe. I thought it was like just a picture that was in the dark. A lock of silver hair is woven through the teeth of the comb. Upon further inspection, you realize that the hair therein isn't just silver in color, it's actually made of spun silver. I want that hair for my collection. You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on a corner table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't just realistic, it's real. Taxidermy? Must have been important to Colonel Sanders when he was alive. A little note clipped to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." Tap on an item to discover more about the colonel. This door is kind of ominous. Maybe we should look at the rest of it. You gaze out the window across the vast lake and mountain range beyond. Just then, the ghost of Student pops up. "Are you thinking about heading out into the world on a quest to avenge my death?" Wait, what? I've never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name right now. It's... Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open the window a crack and the ghost of Student is swept out with a breeze. I bet that's Borko. You take a closer look at a large urn sitting on the nearby pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off, you can read the inscription. It says, "Here lie the ashes of all my past careers and business failures." Poor guy. I want to see what the description is. Ah, look at that. An adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor. From the goatee and mustache combo he sports, you figure that this must be Colonel Sanders himself. That, or maybe it's the drumstick that he seems to be waving around like a rattle. Who frames a baby picture of just themselves? Probably the same type of person who would make their own face the logo of the company they founded, am I right? I love this game. It makes my material for me. Tap on an item to discover more about the... Oh, yeah, that's the same thing. I want to see this... Is this a candle? Oh, it is a scented candle. You pick it up and try to identify the smell. Great branding, by the way. Scented candle brand, scented candles. Power tool? Freshly starched collar? Piece of wood floating in a lake? Summer of 69? No. It's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's... Ah. The photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except he's an old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt? Maybe this is where he discovered one of his secret herbs and spices? One of the framed photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. They hold fried chicken drumsticks and appear to be cheersing them. That is not what's going on in this picture at all. Where are the chicken drumsticks? You look closely and see that there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is. I think that's everything in the room. Let's go into this door. You open the door. You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take one off its hanger and try it on. The jacket is a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he has been working on, and he wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks you why you're wearing his jacket. I don't usually loan those out, but I must say, it does look good on you. Ah, crap, the jacket! You forgot to take it off! You decide that now is your moment to make a big move. You tell him you're cold, you fess up and tell the truth. Tell him I'm cold. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. I just got a little cold and thought this might warm me up. Colonel Sanders smiles and scoots close to the fireplace. It's warm by the fire. Why don't you come a little closer? Suddenly, everything feels like it's moving too fast. Final exams are tomorrow. You should be thinking about where you're going to cook. I should be home studying. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door. But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Margarina? I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber? Dream secrets. I'm gonna glaze his donut all. I'm gonna glaze the Colonel's donut all. I'm gonna make him I'm gonna put my mashed potatoes in his gravy. You wait till a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. We're already till the final semester. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about. In some jurisdictions, isn't even legal. But if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Does that mean the secret ingredient is pot? What else could they mean? The secret ingredient to KFC is fucking marijuana? Jesus. Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. It's meticulous. It's a piece of chicken and biscuits. That's his idea of breakfast. You know what? Legit, I don't give a fuck. If I wake up at Colonel Sanders' house and he presents me with this for breakfast, I'm just gonna thank the man and shove that shit down my gullet. I don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. Eggs and bacon out the window. Toast, fuck that. Throw it on the floor. Chicken and biscuits, that's where it's at for breakfast. It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food, and it takes you on a journey. When you it doesn't even take you on a real journey anymore. It's just it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous! My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? I don't want to be a simp. I'm going to be a simp. You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking to you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you. It's okay, I was just... But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but... You will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date! I think I can believe that. Since I'd been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course I told him, you better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me, so I said, yeah, sure, I can get to know the little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Did she just say skydiving? As if that's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker? And now I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however. Bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too. Back to Colonel Sanders' house where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection. Wowzers. Miriam offers to support you no matter what you do. Together with your bestie, you feel like you could do anything. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because, he's Pop. What's a swirly? It sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a tweet. You can you can get your swirly dip too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Come on. Because I'm literally the biggest person at the school. There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides at school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You've got some nerve, Margarita, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse. Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you winch with pain. Doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up. Never! Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the first day of school? Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Margarita, how's that hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That's a lot of words to say it was bland. Excuse me, Margarita. I am more than capable enough to speak for myself. Maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as we walk into class, Colonel. I'm always interested in discussing the fine foods. See you inside, Margarita. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with Ashley, you take out the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Whoa, that's that book? It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful? I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open to a page covered with arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergency, it says around the edges of the page. I could use a spell here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else, like anything else, not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine. It is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory-erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it out. Oh, shit. Do I forget about Colonel Sanders? Or do I... No. No. Then again, no. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Told you, the milquetoast playthrough. Sprinkles is already in the room, waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement.
I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of.
His cute little nose scrunches up, and he begins to breathe quickly. He must be hungry. Reach for some old homework to give him as a snack. Dogs can be rather unpredictable, especially Sprinkles. Wait to see what happens.
Sprinkles
It's not Sprinkles' dialogue. Sprinkles stops in his tracks. He focuses in on the window. The room is deadly silent. When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perched on the cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs to the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside.
Terrence! I told you to never come back here, Terrence! I will destroy you, Terrence!
Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off of his face. The squirrel looks over, but he doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence?
You better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again!
After Sprinkles is satisfied that his presence has been felt by not only Terrence, but any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professorial tone.
I apologize for the outburst. This actually brings out an important point. Thank you, Mogwaimon, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see?
But before he goes any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Sprinkles is interrupted by words and sparks coming from the back of the room. I told you to save it for after class! You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger? Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. But no! You had to show off to your cool kid friends, Jeff and Joan, J&J forever. Watch us form a triangle in midair as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know? Yeah, well, that doesn't make it a great date. And take Jeff and Joan with you. You can all hold hands as you pedal down the mountain or off a cliff for all I care. Clem begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the gaps in his panels, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. No amount of seasoning is gonna make me want to eat that, Clank. Clank burp. What the fuck? What the fuck? What? Why? What the fuck? Why did he have a deep fried sneaker in his mouth? Jesus fucking Christ. Who the fuck did he murder? Clank burps out a completely deep fried sneaker. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, it's not entirely clear where it came from. In terms of deep fen footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see that entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school.
Well, that was, unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena.